Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is your Grassroots NewsReal. Real updates from people around the world who support the personal peace message of Prem Rawat. Brought to you by the North American Readiness Team, Regional Manager Richard Groden. And now to today's show.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our Grassroots NewsReal. I hope you liked our little intro. We had a lot of fun making that. My name is Kirk Laidlaw, and I'll be your host today. Don't worry about all of the details while you watch this. After the call, you'll receive an email. We'll call it the Grassroots NewsReal Recap. All of the details and the links are going to be in that, so there'll be more information at the end of our call today. Now, most of you joining today are already familiar with the work of Prem Rawat and working with supporting his message of personal peace around the world. You've heard it, you think about it. Many of us practice peace actively every day in our own lives. So welcome. And a genuine welcome to any of you who are just dropping in to see what this is all about. What you'll see today is really how ordinary people, volunteers, are helping make this message of peace available to others. You know, it's one of those things, when something feels valuable, really good, you just want to share it. You know? So today is not a documentary. I don't know where you cut off there, but I was just saying, I think it went on to mute, but that this today is not a documentary, as you can see clearly. It's just a simple Zoom call, you know? We're going to spend the next 55 minutes, and you'll see a series of short reels from grassroots projects around the world. But what I was just asking, and I might have been muted at this point, but I want you to give you a heads up about this. As you watch these reels, I want to ask you to listen not just about what happened, but how it happened, how it started, how each effort, sort of, initiated and what kind of outcomes resulted. Because again and again, you'll notice the same, pattern. Each effort seems to have four beats. First, there's one person, a spark. Next, a pause, to synchronize inside and outside. Then structure, teamwork, planning, materials, and what results? Opportunities open. And this is what we're going to be viewing today. So watch for those four beats. So now onto our newsreel. It happens to be in four parts also. So part one, we call it the foundation. We have two stories each about how before anything ignites, something very small happens. We're going to call it a spark, okay? Our first reel comes from Costa Rica, and it begins with something very, very fundamental. You'll hear Denise speak, really directly here. She's describing what she discovered through her own personal experience, but it's very foundational to everything that follows today. I introduced this in the reel. You might remember Denise Lashley from Costa Rica from videos there or from On Stage at Amaru. She described how she and a small team began training peace education program facilitators in Honduras and Costa Rica. Remember, Prem eventually visited there, and the team went on to do a lot more with other groups around those countries. But today we want to hear about something very fundamental. How did it all start? And the lesson that she describes in this applies to each one of us. Because Denise points to something so important. She describes this. She describes how the inner clarity that each one of us can gain from the peace practice that Prem Rawat teaches can naturally lead to effective action. Denise.
How did everything start in Costa Rica? It just takes one person. So, because when people start thinking, oh, but how are we going to have an event? And like, how are we going to have like 100 or 500 people? They just get demotivated and they don't do anything. So the thing here is to stay present with the premrawat.com website and to follow your intuition, not to just go preaching around like crazy, but practice state-centered, that will radiate. People will come closer. They will ask you sometimes, or there will be a conversation. It takes one person that goes, and then one peace education program, maybe only with 5 people. But along the way, while you are enjoying your practice every day, there will be opportunities. It's something that requires centeredness and feeling, and then you will find this person, the right person. And it takes one successful peace education program, because after that, when there are other opportunities, you can take that as a reference. And that's exactly how it happened in Costa Rica. We were having a hike, and the subject came up, about transformation and inner work and all these things people talk about. And I said, hey, there is a free online course, and it can also be done in person, in groups. And one of them said, hey, I'm interested for my whole staff. And that's Unbound. That's how we got our first peace education program in Costa Rica. And after that, it's just like a nice cascade of events. But it just take one. It's from 0 to 1, and then you will have the second one and the third one at the right time. This is something that doesn't need to be rushed. The most important thing is to listen and practice, and then the participation falls into place. So thank you for listening.
Mm-hmm. Listen, practice, participation, recognize that. So our next reel shows something very similar. This reel comes from Niger in West Africa. Like the Costa Rica example, it begins with one person asking a simple question. Absatu asks herself, how can I share this message? Now listen for the moment when she says, I find a way. I find my group. Because that moment changed everything.
I always keep this feeling to do propagation. And then this feeling I have felt there, service LD, stay. So I wanted to do something because I like this thing and I want to share it also, always want to share it. But how to do it in this society that very, very, very difficult, very not open, closed. So how to do this thing? How? And then so the book comes, Hear Yourself books in 2001. So the friend of me, the premise friend, I've met most of them at Benin. So one of the friends sent me a book. The book, when they wrote book, she asked me if I'm about to share it in Niger. I say, yes, why not? I can try. But the thing is that I don't want just to go and then give and then like spread it, like share the book, and then maybe it can be with somebody who can go and put it on his table. No, for me it's too precious, and it's like the only tools I have. So I wanted to just to think about and to remember and to give it to whom I'm really sure that it can be used. So I was there when we have a cultural center. I'm a photographer. I used to do exhibition. So the director called me and then asked me if I would like to do an exhibition like of Eyes Met with one photographer woman from Algeria. So we do this exhibition, very good thing. So 2 days before the launching, she sent me a program. Let me take this. A program of, this is the program. A program, it is 2021. A program of the exhibition. So for me to just, the PDF, to see if maybe there is some cookies in my biography, if I want to change something before he print it. I say yes. So he done it to me. I see there, okay, this is good. My things is there. Okay, so I say, okay, let me see what is in this program. I was looking. So I come to this. It is a Prem picture in the program. So it's like I say, wow, how this come? Who put it here? What is this? So I call him. I even forget about the biography. Call him. Who is this? Who is this group? What is this? So I go to understand more about this thing. So I get that it's a club riders group. One of the member chose accidentally because she saw the book on internet, and she chose the book as a personal development book, and she chose it and proposed it for the group, for the member to read for all the month, and then at the end of the month they will read and then discover about the book. I say, I found a way. I find my group. So I say, oh, that is things I want. I wanted to give this book to these people who can read it. So it was amazing. But the thing is that the first club the Rider Club that accept it and then do the first restitution, they talk about it to others group club, and then I didn't know about them. So there is total of four clubs. So they talk to the three others clubs that have many members. One have like 3,000 or something. Yes, they have a lot of members, and because they are going in a lot of schools, some 200, 100, something like that. But I told them that I don't have enough book for all these people, but I can ask. So really, I think there are more demand. Most of them always asking me, can we have the book? Can we have the book? But I don't have. So if we can get it, it will be good, and it can help really to go forward. You say, no, aller plus loin. And then also, so we are looking for the venue, and really we need to be support. We need to be support because I'm alone, and then to get some support, some help, some training, so voilà.
Hey, how you doing? Oh yeah, okay.
So, she wants
The books.
the books, friends. Okay. 100 books at least. Okay. Here are your books.
Oh, the books. Oh, this is perfect.
Did you notice one person? She paused, synchronized with the global team. She got her books. Then one connection, and almost by coincidence, it opened the doors to hundreds of people hearing Prem's message. Sometimes you just need patience. By the way, the full interview is an amazing story. If you'd like to watch it, we're going to include a link to it. It's about maybe 9 minutes long, and you'll get that in that recap email you'll get after this call. Moving on to part 2 of our newsreel. This time we're going to look at structure. 3 stories from 3 countries and 3 ways of doing it. Our first example comes from Canada. And as you watch this, you can pay attention to the sequence that they describe. They use this secret weapon, picking up the telephone. But to me, this one is it's a friggin' masterclass of structure. Jim?
From Canada to the world, Hear Yourself book clubs. This is the story of how one book club became a global movement based on the New York Times bestseller by Prem Rawat, Hear Yourself, How to Find Peace in a Noisy World. It started in Canada. One pilot book club proved the concept, a passionate team, a credible book, and a willing audience. This Canadian blueprint became the foundation for everything that followed. The journey from 1 to thousands. Starting in Canada, expanding to a Tamil network across 19 countries with over 200 participants on Zoom, then to French Africa reaching 15 countries with 500 on day 1, and culminating in India with 2,000 young people, with plans to reach 4,000 next. If it worked in Canada, why not go global? The Tamil global community was the first test, reaching young people across continents through their shared language and culture. 19 countries connected through Zoom. Over 200 participants joined from around the world, spanning 6 sessions. The Tamil network proved that distance was no barrier to meaningful conversation. Global French community starting in French Africa expanded the vision even further. From 12 to 15 countries, this youth-led movement used WhatsApp and Zoom to bring together French-speaking nations across 3 continents. Session 1. Madagascar launched the series on July 13, 2025. Over 400 participants from 12 countries joined in a hybrid format, setting the stage with exceptional quality and enthusiasm. Session 2. Benin followed with vibrant, peace-themed music. Young MC Ismail guided 304 participants from 13 countries through a celebration that blended music, reflection, and inspiration. Session 3. Niger opened with traditional rhythms. 159 participants heard from Mr. Edouard Lompo, Director General of Niger's National Library, sharing how the book resonated deeply with him. Session 4. The global finale brought everyone together on Zoom. Participants from France, Mauritius, Benin, Madagascar, and beyond. A true celebration of connection across borders. The breakthrough moment came in India. 2,000 students in Madurai gathered for an introduction and debate. Supported by the Canadian team's tech and design expertise, this event proved the model could scale dramatically. 3 keys made it possible. First, a credible book, a New York Times bestseller. Second, a passionate driver willing to take the risk. Third, a lean, willing team ready to support the vision. Share the blueprint openly. Show others exactly what worked in Canada. Transparency builds trust, and when people see the path, momentum builds naturally. The magic ingredient: pick up the phone, call the people who will say yes. In a world of texts and emails, that personal touch still matters most. The process is simple. Prove it works locally, find your champion, share the model transparently, pick up the phone, and let it flow. Most important, direct people to where they can source their own inner peace. The Peak program available, free to the world, on intelligentexistence.com.
You know, that's such a clear pattern. Huh? One local book club becomes a blueprint. One book, one conversation, and the circle grows. That circle happened through cultural circles that are already established. We're going to see more of that kind of structure again later in these reels today. But the takeaway might be that might be that you want to think about if you're a part of any circle, any community where something like this could be organized. We could get ready for when Prem Rawat's next book comes out. late in this year. Okay, the next reel of part 2 comes from Italy, and it shows how they created a structure, they call it their playbook, for reading groups using another of Prem's books for reaching people. They take their project city by city, 1-hour events, clear roles, local partners. But notice how their playbook makes it very easy for people to participate. Let's watch.
This is a quick recap of our Italy campaign around Prem Rawat's book, Breath, sharing personal peace city by city. Our anchor was simple. Personal peace is universal and reachable. 3 intentions guided the work: grow awareness, go to people where they are, and experiment without fear. The tour reached scale, 21 public events across 15 Italian cities. Each event also built a pipeline. Presentations led to stay in touch, and for some, attending Prem Rawat's live European events. The team tested unusual venues like theater and discotheques, helping reach new audiences and re-energize long-time participants. The playbook stayed tight, 1 hour, with clear roles: reader, moderator, journalist, event lead, and technician. Key insight: a professional reader, often an actor, creates attention. Then the journalist turns the reading into dialogue and Q&A. Short video intros helped set the tone, typically a 4-minute New York intro, sometimes an additional 7-minute clip from earlier events. Local credibility drove attendance. Strong bookstore or cultural center partners, familiar local faces, and good in-store visibility. A small back-office team removed the friction: materials, printing, shipping, and social. So local teams focused on hosting. Media amplified reach: local newspaper and digital articles, active journalists, and coordination with the publisher's press officer. Results: about 600 attendees, 12 to 92 per event, and about 450 to 500 books sold, with sales continue over time. Costs stayed efficient, about 4,000 euros total, roughly 235 euros per event on average, including materials, travel, and support. Next, debrief and improve. Continue September, test summer locations, explore radio, create Bologna clips, and keep it joyful. Thank you. Grazie.
I mean, 600 people, 15 cities, all built on one well-designed structure. Huh? That's why we're sharing these examples with you today. There might be something that already exists that you can implement, projects that are already built that you could run right in your city. Okay, our third example comes from Mexico, and like Costa Rica, it involves Prem Rawat's peace education program. Let's listen to Monica describe their strategy for introducing this program through partnerships with institutions. And as you watch, notice how the credibility grows step by step. This was a long-term, intentional strategy. Heck, if you are someone who has patience, this could work where you are. Let's roll.
Hola, mi nombre es Mónica Zúñiga. Soy representante del programa de Educación para la Paz.
Hi, my name is Mónica Zúñiga. I'm a representative of Mexico's Peace Education Program
y
in
esta
Mexico.
iniciativa es difundir el mensaje de Prem a través del programa de Educación para la Paz.
Esta iniciativa surgió en el 2003. Actualmente, en 2025, son las instituciones quienes solicitan la implementación del programa. La clave del éxito radica en vivir nosotros mismos la experiencia del programa de Educación para la Paz. Aquí algunos pasos a seguir. Preparar información
Prepare
del
program
programa
information
dirigido
for
a directivos.
directors.
Informar sobre las
Report on
actividades
program
y avances
activities
del
and
programa,
progress at the global,
tanto a nivel
national,
mundial, en tu
and
país y
local
local.
levels.
Presentar la información
Present
del
program
programa en
information
foros
at
globales
global
de
peace
cultura
culture
de paz.
forums.
Establecer alianzas
Establish
con
partnerships
organizaciones
with
nacionales
national and international organizations that promote peace. This encourages officials to recommend the program to other institutions. Thanks to the collaboration with the Rotarians of Morelos, we presented the Peace Education Program for the people in the State Human Rights Commission in Durango in October of 2025, with the participation of the Foundation Garza Limon. The event inspired and generated great interest in replicating the program in other institutions. Currently, facilitator trainings are being organized. The program is present in various universities of the country, such as the University of Guadalajara, the Higher Institute of Technology in Irapuato, and the private university in the state of Morelos. The aim is to expand its academic reach and strengthen education in peace values, promote and strengthen a culture of peace in our global, personal, and social environments. Peace beyond borders. In Haiti, Marista brothers and university students have participated. From this experience, 9 people have been trained as facilitators, and 2 more are waiting to be trained to expand the program in Haiti. Testimonial from a volunteer. It's wonderful because it's really touched my heart. Talking to them is incredible. And the heart-to-heart connection we share is amazing. We're grateful to all the volunteers for their valuable collaboration in the initiatives in Mexico. Thanks to Prem Rawat for the opportunity to participate.
Well, I hope the English speakers followed those instructions to turn on their interpretation. But, you know, that is another pattern that we often see, where one sincere effort, you know, one presentation, you know, then a partnership, and eventually, and this is why you need patience, institutions start requesting the program themselves. It stands on its own feet. So let's explore that in part 3 of our 4-part newsreel. We call this part The Ripple. And we have 2 stories that open to unexpected outcomes. The first of these 2 reels comes from the USA. It also describes how the peace education program was used, but this time to a very specific community, military veterans. Let's watch.
In this country, there are 16 million veterans. Each day, 32 of them commit suicide on average.
Greetings. Good things are happening for veterans these days. Dan Banks, who's facilitator for the Peace Education Program, and Jerry Werhan, who's the president of the Veterans for Peace here in Asheville, are collaborating and inviting veterans to attend the Peace Education Program, which is only 1 hour per week, 10-week course, and it's free. If you have friends that are veterans, please let them know about this, and if you are a veteran and you'd like to get involved, please get a hold of us. Thank you for listening.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for deciding to learn more about the Peace Education Program for Veterans. My name is Jerry Werhan. The Peace Education Program promotes self-knowledge and encourages the readiness to recall and rely upon what we learn during the program about being at peace while we seek to make peace in our world. I spent 23 years in the military and 15 years plus in counting as a peace activist with Veterans for Peace. I've come to realize that all along I had the peace that I yearned for in the world already within me. And it was just a matter of relying on that knowledge and that wisdom so that I could be more effective and do a better job in the pursuit of peace without all the frustration and depression and all the things that go along with that.
There is no sound.
I do hope you'll consider enrolling in one of our peace education program for veterans sessions, and I encourage you to look at the other videos that are on this website, and I look forward to having you join us in this peaceful way to promote peace in the world. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Dan Banks, and I'm a facilitator with the Peace Education Program. We're doing one exclusively for the veterans. They are about 6% of the population, and we find that veterans just like to be around other veterans. And so, unbelievably, I had given up on trying to reach the veterans. The next day, I got a call from Craig Klawan asking me if I facilitate a veterans-only program. We're having a great time. We're doing our second session, looking forward to our third. We have people already registered for the next session, which would start in April. So just want to share this with everybody and let everybody know that Peace Education Program is alive and well and working terrifically for the veterans. Have a great day.
It's such a human story, isn't it? So 2 things to say. First, did you notice that pattern again? One contact to one community, then that ripple effect. We've already seen that a few times today. You know, I asked earlier, so really think about it, what communities you might touch. Okay, next, a quick announcement. This ties directly to what you just saw. I'll start with a question. Have you ever taken the Peace Education Program yourself? You know, and if not, did you know that you can now do that? So here's how. You go to tprf.org, and that page just had a major update. You can register for the online series that are beginning actually in a couple of weeks. Heck, grab a friend or someone in your family who might enjoy doing it with you. Yeah, do it together. Listen, if you want a quick walkthrough about how to do this, Jake Frankel, the communications director from TPRF, he put together a short video just for us. We're going to include the link to it in that newsreel recap you'll get after this call. Yeah. Oh yeah, also you can see how you can volunteer with the program or even set one up yourself. So it's right there on that same webpage. Yeah, check it out. Our next reel about this ripple effect begins with something, I don't know, it's really very simple. It was at a local cultural festival, also in the US, in the state of Minnesota. Volunteers were sharing copies of Prem Rawat's books, just a few books shared with people who were interested. But again, you know, one of those books reached someone who helped create the unexpected global ripple. Watch this one.
It was an honor to see Ramgada uncle at the booth, who came and was like, "What are you giving, Sneha?" And I showed him the 2 books. And then we talked a little bit, and he eagerly accepted the book breath. 2 days later, he called me, "Sneha, thank you for this book. I loved it." I was so happy when he said, "The India Association of Minnesota with the Dash Foundation would like to honor Prem Rawat with the Vision of Gandhi Award. Prem Rawat wasn't able to attend event in person, but he did send the development director of the Prem Rawat Foundation to accept the award on his behalf.
From the boy prodigy, he has been a global peace ambassador. Prem has brought extraordinary clarity, inspiration, and deep life learning to millions. So hopefully with this award, he will keep continuing on this award for years to come. And hopefully he can visit us next year in Minnesota.
Mahatma Gandhi is in this room with us. What he and all the others that were inspired by him, that came after him, we are part of that. And you in this room, you're making this happen in this very difficult time. On behalf of Prem Rawat and all of us at the foundation, thank you. Thank you for this honor. You're making a difference.
That's such a great example of what we're talking about today, isn't it? Again, an unexpected outcome. Huh? Okay, we're headed into the final few clips of our presentation here. This is the beginning of part 4, and we call it jumping in. Now we move into ways that you can participate directly. And this next segment shows what that could look like in real communities. Excuse me. This next project is so interesting, so sort of doable, that we decided not to focus on it here. We're going to send you a special feature just about this particular project. We'll be able to describe amazing backstory about it too, so watch for that. But just as a teaser, there's this North American team that works with best practices for communities to host their own local events right where you live. They have monthly meetings and they support each other. So we wanted to share one quick clip about this sent to us from Margaret. And just catch her lovely energy. That's right.
In Boulder, we now have events open to everyone, which has been super heartwarming. Before each event, I reach out to those who may want to help, and then a team pulls together to make our event warm and welcoming. It's actually evolved into an extremely sweet thing. We have had around 4 new people at each event. Some have been attracted by the banner and book display at the reception desk and have chatted to volunteers there and then come in to watch the video. The attendees have expressed how much they've enjoyed it, and everyone leaves with big smiles. It's been really lovely to do, and I recommend it.
So simple, so simple. You know, when I first heard Prem Rawat's message, it was at an event just like this when I was a teenager. And, you know, I venture to say the core message has not changed, but the event quality has definitely improved since those days. Okay, next, not every project requires a venue or even an event. You can participate from right where you're sitting right now. Have you ever listened to the podcasts, to the Life's Essentials podcasts? It's Prem Rawat speaking directly to you in 15 or 20-minute audio clips each week. Jim.
Imagine being able to press pause on life's noise and reconnect with what really matters. Life's Essentials with Prem Rawat is a podcast dedicated to clarity, peace, and a deeper understanding of yourself. In each episode, Prem Rawat shares simple, practical insights you can apply right away. If you've ever felt overwhelmed, stuck, or simply curious about finding more joy and balance, listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast platform, and take a few minutes each week to recharge from the inside out. Every week, you'll also find intros and direct links to each new episode posted on Facebook and Instagram, making it easy to listen and to share. If an episode resonates with you, don't keep it to yourself. Help share it with the 200 million people who listen to podcasts in English each day. Share it on Facebook and Instagram. Invite your friends to listen to Life's Essentials with Prem Rawat. Your share might be the reminder someone really needs today.
Wow, they made quite a reel. I listened to those on walks. You know, I heard from this person the other day, and she was saying that this is the only way that she could help share Prem Rawat's message. It touched me deeply. Okay, another very accessible way people are helping share this message is through social media. This next reel is from the influencers team. Though, as you'll hear, it's not about becoming a major superstar influencer. It's simply volunteering to share pre-made content that's inspiring, that's creative, but in a coordinated way. Let's watch.
We're inviting you to be part of something simple, human, and powerful. The North American Influencers team sharing Prem Rawat's message of personal peace with thousands of people every day. This isn't about being a superstar influencer. It's about a solid group of volunteers working together as a team. Together, we can reach far more people than any one of us could on our own. After you join, you'll get access to a WhatsApp channel with short, friendly instructional videos. They will walk you through everything step by step. You'll receive approved posts you can easily copy and paste to Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. Just add a short personal line and a few hashtags to make it feel like you. Participation is completely voluntary and always at your own pace. This initiative is built on respect, focus, and collaboration. We only share approved content. It's an easy, calm, and enjoyable way to make a difference. If this resonates with you, we'd love for you to join us. Watch the short videos when you're ready and start sharing in a way that fits your life. Together, one peaceful message at a time, we can reach thousands of people who are looking for exactly this.
Mm-hmm. That's such a great example of teamwork, huh? When many people take small steps, it can reach thousands. I hope some of you will join that effort. They've made it really simple. And by the way, if there are any latecomers, we are broadcasting in 3 languages. Everyone needs to choose their language of choice: English, French, and Spanish. Okay, our final reel today ends on a practical note. All of this, the events, the books, the programs, the media, they happen because people choose to support it. Many of us do this, but there are options. So Marcel in Montreal, he's put together a short reel for us showing those options. And there's lots of detail in here. So remember, there's no need to catch the detail. They'll be in that follow-up recap email. Okay?
Welcome, everyone. I'd like to take a few minutes to share something simple and heartfelt. Prem Rawat's message has brought something valuable to many of us, and one practical way to help is to keep that possibility open for others. Today is a short overview of where and how people in Canada, USA, and Mexico can contribute. Please note the following information will be made available in a follow-up document. At the international level, there are three main ways. First, TPRF, which offers peace education and humanitarian work. Supporting initiatives such as the Peace Education Program makes it available around the world at no cost. 2, then we have WOPG supporting Prem Rawat's public events and media appearances. Supporting events with Prem also generate content that is later shared worldwide. And 3, Timeless Today, which provides media production and global broadcasts with free content, paid subscriptions, and sponsorship opportunities. Payments to Timeless Today, a limited liability company, are for sponsorship and marketing services and are not tax-deductible as charitable contributions. Become a sponsor and help the message reach as many people as possible. In Canada, support can go toward events with Prem Rawat, knowledge sessions and reviews, book projects, local activities, and outreach. The 2 links here are the easiest way to connect with those options: Word of Peace Canada and Convention Plus. In the United States, WOPI supports live events with Prem and offers a practical giving route for U.S. supporters, including tax-deductible donations and legacy gifts. For the legacy gifts, you can contact Kina Hathianis at the address shown. The Giving Books projects help fund the purchase of books for book launch events and book clubs. This is really a direct way to help Prem's books reach readers everywhere. The U.S. information site can point people to other support options as well. In Mexico, your support goes through Por una Cultura de Paz, AC. You can help support events with Prem Rawat, knowledge sessions and reviews, book projects, local activities, and promotion. The email is there so you can connect directly. So really, the invitation is very simple. You can see a summary of the various ways you can participate. If this resonates with you, I invite you to support this work in the way that feels right for you. Your support can go a long way. Thank you.
It's true. And did you notice support even after we're gone? You gotta love that. But really, check it out. The thing is, I know this. Every contribution, no matter how small or big, helps keep this message of peace moving forward. Okay, before we wrap up, I want to bring Richard Groden on mic here. Rich, could you turn your mic on? Richard Groden was asked by Prem Rawat to be a contact point to help keep his work synchronized throughout the North American region. Rich, tell me about that. What's that all about?
Well, Kirk, it wasn't just me. It was a team that Prem Rawat created in 2020. He held a meeting in Barcelona and he formed this team that he called the Regional Managers. And there are 9 of us from around the globe, and we work together. We work with the grassroots. We work with the organizations, and our one of our purposes is to inform the grassroots and to make sure that the messages that are being sent out in our region are the simple, concise, and synchronized messages that Prem Rawat wishes to have, wishes for people to hear and to see. And that's done basically by just not encumbering his message with our own thoughts or issues, just presenting the materials that he's given us.
Got it. Now, I warned you before the call I was going to ask you this question. So what's it like for you just as an individual?
Well, I have a job. I'm a teacher. I work every day. I work with special needs kids, and it's a beautiful job. I really love it, and it's very inspiring. But I come home and I have a house full of people. My wife, my daughter, my son-in-law, 2 grandkids all live with us. So, there's always something happening in my house. But to take the time, time is short, time is precious, and to take the time to know that I'm playing a part in helping people communicate, and helping people that want to help Prem Rawat, that want to help get this important message out. It's a wonderful thing. I'm very grateful.
So, wow. I want to ask this one. If someone is watching today and they have a project that they'd like to help with, or even an idea to start something, what is their next step?
Well, I think, we've put out some really wonderful information. And by the way, Kirk, you've done a great job here today. I couldn't say, not thank you for that and appreciate how well you've done. But people, we need people to step up, to help. There's many activities, even within North American Readiness, where we need help. But if one message touched you today and you felt like that was something you can do, we're going to send out within the next 3 hours or so. You'll have an email in your box that is a recap of this presentation and a PDF, giving specific information of how you can help. And if you have questions, you can write into info@NorthAmericanReadiness.com. That is on the screen, and that will be in the email that we send out. You don't really need to rush and write anything down here today, because like I said, in 3 hours, you'll have an email in your box recapping everything.
Rich, thank you.
Thank you, Kirk, and thanks to the whole team. This was a big effort to put this out, and an effort of love, and I hope it showed, and I hope all of you enjoyed it. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, I want to echo that. I mean, I've got about 60 seconds left here, but I want to echo that thank you to everyone who contributed to these projects. You guys made a lot of effort making these reels for us, and it showed. And thank you to all of you for joining us. And thank you, Dr. Prem Rawat. It's an honor and a privilege to support the work you do. I'm going to close with this. But for many of us, this kind of activity is already, it's already part of our daily lives. And for some of you here, there may be a place where a spark gets, reignited in the context of listen, practice, participate. We all figure out these things don't just support each other, right? They're almost like immutable. They work together to deepen an experience of life. And I'm going to go off my notes here for a minute, because I live on the West Coast. I live on an island, and we sail out here in a boat I sail on frequently has 3 sails to it. And it's oh, sorry, tip my mic. And it's like this life. It's like that's us. And I tell you, you know, when all those sails are up and they catch that wind, you know, it's sweet. It's really sweet, you know. But then, you know, every now and then, not often, but every now and then, and you have to be ready for it. The opportunity is just right, and there's a fourth sail. It's called a spinnaker. You've seen them, the big, colorful sails, you know, out in front. They really catch the wind, you know. And that sail just goes up when the time is right. You grab the opportunity. You know, basically, that's what we wanted to share today. We wanted to share these stories, not to tell anyone what to do. That's just to show you what's possible for participation in case something here resonates with you. And if something did resonate, the next step will feel natural, right? Watch your inbox for that recap email and you can follow up there. Ladies and gentlemen, that's our newsreel. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Great presentation. Enjoyed listening and watching.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Good
everybody.
job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, this was good.
Bye.
Thank you.
Love you guys.
Next time, maybe.